Hey guys, it's your boy Mar. I'm here with a day one patch notes review. Let's get right into it. First off, we got enemy visibility. We have added diamond icons above the heads of enemies. This should make it easier for players to clearly identify opponents in the game. Additionally, we have continued to tweak lighting and contrast for improved enemy visibility. So basically what they mean is like, say I'm the opposite team, it says famous Mar YT. That's what the old say. Now it's gonna say it's just gonna be a red diamond above my name. There's that. And then second of all, they fixed the lighting and contrast. Me personally in the game, I had a hard time seeing people, so I would in the game in certain places in certain areas. So I would turn my brightness up, it wouldn't work. I turn my brightness down, still wouldn't work. Next up, we have audio. We've shortened the overall range of footsteps audio, which will allow enemies to get closer to targets before they are able to detect footsteps. We have also continued to tweak teammate footstep audio, which will now be quieter following the feedback from the beta. The in-world activation sound effects falling range for dead silence foot upgrade has been drastically decreased. So basically what they mean is like in the beta, like footsteps, you would take a step, it would be loud as shit. Your teammates would take a step behind you, it would sound like the enemies were right behind you. So I guess they lowered that now to promote people to actually move so people won't camp. And then they lowered the dead silence activation thing. So like when it would activate, it'd be loud as shit. Me personally, I don't think it should have activation period, like activation sound period for it being dead silence. Like that doesn't really make sense to me. Like why would it be dead silence? But when you activate it, it makes noise. There's that, I guess. So next up, we have third person. Following feedback from the beta, aiming down sights will now stay in third person point of view for low zoom optics. Only a high zoom optics beginning with the ACOG and higher, and special optics such as hybrids and thermals will revert to first person point of view. We believe this will enhance the third person experience while keeping the gameplay balanced. The feedback on this mode has been very positive, and we will continue to explore its use as a modifier. So basically, when you aim in with a red dot, like a 1x red dot, you'd still be in third person. But when you aim in with a 4x ACOG scope, you aim in, it'd be first person. Yeah, when you aim in with the 4x ACOG, it'll be first person. But when you aim in with the 1x red dot, it'll be third person. Me personally, I haven't played a lot of third person. I don't think, was it in the beta? I don't know. I didn't play it, but I'm looking to get into it, try it out, see what it looks like. Next up, we have weapons. We have continued to tweak weapons across the game following both feedback from beta players and game data. Players can expect more specifics on weapon tuning as we continue to support post-launch. So basically, they just balanced more of the weapons out, I guess. That's what they mean. Next up, we have user interface, which is a big one for me. We have been working hard on numerous updates to our UI that can make accessing and customizing your loadout more seamless. We've made improvements to navigation of menus and we'll continue to optimize our user HUD. So like basically in the beta, like it was hard as shit to navigate around, get to your class, and actually create a class. It was like two things. Like you can create a class, but like it wouldn't save. It was like a certain way you had to do it, and like navigating around the HUD, and like it was a bunch of pointless shit that didn't need to be complex, but that was complex. So hopefully simplified that down. Next up, we had a big one: movement. Slide, ledge hang, and dive have been further refined. We've also adjusted some movement exploits following beta. So basically in the beta, you weren't supposed to be able to, but you could slide cancel and b-hop. But if you played the campaign, you would know you couldn't do that anymore. So this is what they're alluding to, I'm pretty sure. They took it out the game. Personally, I think it created a skill gap that was necessary. But, that's cool. Next up, we have matchmaking. We have implemented some changes that aim to reduce lobby disbandment between matches. We look forward to testing this at a large scale and getting feedback. So like basically when say we have a game and it's 25 game team deathmatch and it's 25 to 75, I lost, they'll disband the match because that's too high of a skill gap. But if it's 73 to 75, they'll keep the match because the skill gap would be even in their eyes. Personally, me, I don't believe in skill-based matchmaking. I believe that should be put in ranked and give incentives to play ranked. But, who am I? Next up, we're going to get into camos. Alright, so I'm going to read the challenges for the camos. First of all, we have the gold camo challenge. For each weapon is available once all of its base camo challenges are completed. And then we have the platinum camo challenge. For each weapon, it is available once the camo is locked across a minimum number of weapons in each category. Then we have the polyatomic camo challenge. For each weapon is available once the platinum camo is unlocked across a minimum of 51 weapons. And then we have the Orion camo is a reward for unlocking polyatomic across a minimum of 51 weapons. It is also automatically granted on every weapon that earns the Orion camo past its minimum requirement. Next, I'm going to show you some of the camos. First, we have this gold. It was leaked, but in the leak, it wasn't the same. They made it brighter, I'm pretty sure. Hard to tell. Next was the platinum. And the platinum, some places in the platinum had gold on it, but they just took that off and made it straight platinum. I think it looks better this way. And then we have the polyatomic. Some things on the polyatomic used to be obsidian. They took that out. They made it brighter. They added some more detail into the stocks and all that. I think it's okay. I'm not really a big fan. And then we have the origin camo. It's a reactive camo, I'm pretty sure. They said it's supposed to be a fast reactive camo too. We'll see how it looks in game. But right now, I'm not really that big of a fan of it. But I think I'm going to still grind for it and go for 100% completion. Me personally, I think the platinum camo looks the best. But there's that. But hey, that's it for the video. Stay tuned because I'm dropping Modern Warfare content all year. I got Warzone, DMZ, campaign, multiplayer, shit, even if it's zombies mode. It's your boy Mar, and I'm out. Let's go.